Start whenever you want.
Alright, we'll go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Hello everybody, this is Mega Man X 100%. So it's beat the game while collecting all heart tanks, sub-tanks. Awesome. That's not good. All heart tanks, sub-tanks, and armor upgrades, including the hidden Hadoken. So this is the intro stage. One of the most famous stages of its era. There's a lot of mashing and RNG involved in this stage. These bees can give you bad patterns. That one... Okay. That was really laggy. So the first one was an alright bee. Second one was what we call a passive. It doesn't come out, so you have to body it twice. Which, if you get double passives, you just die if you try to bonk through. And you'll notice I take the damage there. I want to be at 3 health or lower when I get to the end of this stage. As if I'm 3 health or lower, Vile will go straight into the capture sequence of the fight. So this fight coming up here is a scripted loss. No matter what you can do, no matter what you do, you can't kill Vile. So, and he'll beat you until your health is low enough. So we try to keep our health at that point when he comes down, and now he will shoot a spark and capture us. On rare occasions, he will jump into you and kill you. He can still kill you. It's very rare, and I believe you have to shoot him for him to end up actually jumping that way, so I don't normally shoot him, and it hasn't happened in a while. You'll notice we're playing on the Japanese version. Japanese is only used for text. Because of text, it's about 12 seconds faster. There are no other differences. So we're gonna go to Penguin first, because Penguin has the first upgrade that we need, which are the dash boots. Because walking everywhere is slow and painful. You'll notice coming up here, I'm going to do a few things. To try to just increase a little bit of speed since I can't dash, I'm going to do what we call slope jumps. So, right here, while X is going down a slope, he gains a small bit of movement, and you'll see. And height, so I'm able to make that jump there by using a slope jump. And each one saves. It's in the range of frames, but it's still better than just walking. So here is our first upgrade capsule. This gives us the much needed boot upgrade. Now we can dash. And now is when the speedrun really begins. Fortunately, I didn't get no stop there. If you shoot that full charge at the right time and then shoot a few lemons, you can kill both Jammingers and the ostrich and not have to stop. So up next is one of the worst boss fights in the game to do quickly. We're gonna hope for a lot of this attack right here, actually. We don't want him to slide, but if he makes the ice sculptures, we can get multiple hits off. And while he's sliding, he's invulnerable, so we want him to do that as little as possible. And you'll also notice that some of those lemons were doing 2 damage instead of 1. That's because what we call dash lemons. Dash lemons will always do double damage. And in some cases, like Eagle, Eagle's the only one that's relevant in the run. Dash lemons actually do the same amount as the full charge. So, on to Boomer Kawanger stage, one of the more technical stages in the run. There's a lot of climbing sections. And a lot of precise jumps. Missed a dash there. You can skip the turtle cycle if you immediately dash jump as soon as you get up there. So right here, just to make this a little easier and because it's fun, these walls, the spikes on the wall are glitched. If you jump from 7 pixels away from them and do a wall jump, they won't damage you, but you'll go into iframes. And by doing so, you can just avoid basically everything on that little auto-scroller. Doesn't save any time, but... it's the one little respite you have on this stage. So, this is a trick called Iceless. First try, nice. So it's not nearly as easy as that looks. In order to make that jump, again, you have to... Really? Can we dash? You have to jump from 7 pixels away from the wall, and that will give X enough distance to be able to jump to the next platform. So this is the Kawanger fight. It should go smoothly if I don't mess this up. So now he's into this phase. So the first phase, he'll run at you and try to grab you and throw you into the ceiling. But if you jump at the right time, he won't be able to grab you, but he'll still go into the animation. So you can kind of, in essence, dance with him and get off a lot of damage until he goes into phase 2, which is when he starts rapidly teleporting around the room. And once he goes into phase 2, he will never teleport on top of you. So, if you do the fight correctly, he should never touch you, and makes what casually was a very difficult fight, at least for me, into a really easy one. Alright, so here's going to be one of the first big glitches in the game, if I can get it. I'm going to try to grab this heart and then spawn. Nope. It's a little bit too far to the right. So what I was going for there was if I grab that heart at the same time I spawn one of the platforms that I was just riding on, the platform will actually get caught on, will actually attach itself to the boomerang, and then I can ride it through the rest of the stage. Saves about 20 seconds, I think, if done optimally. But it's technically a pixel perfect trick, and you only get one chance at it, so... Other than that, this hasn't been a too terrible Eagle stage so far, although Eagle is, the Eagle fight is probably the worst instance of RNG in the game. Coming up on this fight, we want him to just throw tornadoes and flap his wings at us. Anytime he hovers or dives, it's costing us time. And you'll notice I will, as long as he's on the ground, I'll only be shooting with dash lemons because, as I said, dash lemons do 2 damage to him, as do fully charged shots. And the green charged shots, so like tier 1 charged shots, only do 1 damage to him. And now he's gonna go dive. Okay. All the way down. See, he's just not having any of it today. Alright, that wasn't a terrible eagle. I've seen worse. I've definitely seen better. But he is, once you get to a certain point, he is basically the gatekeeper of the run. There's so much execution and RNG in the first 3 stages of the game that it makes it kind of a grind sometimes. So now on to one of my favorite stages to actually execute, Mammoth Stage. I'm gonna try some precise ice shots here, as I missed the first one, and I missed the second one. Okay, so the idea is you want the ice to hit underneath those enemies as they're falling, then it'll explode and the particles will come up into them and kill them. It's a little bit faster because then you can go top route, which is, I believe, frames faster. So again, not a huge time loss for going bottom route, but doesn't look as cool. So this is the arm capsule, which now allows us to charge all of our Maverick weapons. And use that sled to get up to the sub-tank faster. And the reason we do Quanger second is so we can get the boomerangs, as you guys can see. It allows us to grab the items much quicker. So, on to the Mammoth Fight. Not too much to say about this one. I'm going to start with a dash lemon, just because it's a little bit faster, because you'll end up with 2 HP if you don't. As Mammoth says, he's an elephant. Yo, you were totally an elephant, buddy. I'm proud of you. So, yeah, that's the Mammoth Fight. He has only 1 attack that actually hurts you. His other 2 attacks, he spits oil that if he shoots flames on it, a big pillar comes up, and then he throws his arms up and tells us he's an elephant and switches the direction of the conveyor belt. But other than that, he's... yeah. As long as you don't just like run into him, he's not too scary. So, on to Chameleon Stage, we'll have our first, I believe, mini-boss fight here at the start of the stage. I'm going to use 18 boomerangs to start, and then I'm going to finish him off with optimally 6 dash lemons. I missed 2 of the shots because his hands actually block the shots, which is annoying. But this gives us the armor. It halves all the damage we take, which is the biggest reason I'm doing this route. This route is actually 2 seconds slower, but it's much easier because all you have to do is do this trick here, which we call waterless. Because there's normally water here. after you beat Octo. Having to do that trick only costs 2 seconds, and it makes Octo and Armadillo stages much easier and much safer. So, we're gonna grab this one up here because in a few stages we will be needing all the 1-ups that we can get. Oh, that was not a dash lemon. Alright. So normally, if you shoot 18 boomerangs, you'll have enough boomerangs for to drop Chameleon to 2 health, and then you just shoot him with a dash lemon. But I was able to pick up an ammo, so I won't even need to worry about that. Chameleon is the start of the easier boss fights, as we are starting to get weaknesses. Once you get the fight started, you can get him in that loop. It makes it pretty simple to dispatch him. So now that we have Sea Sting, we're going to go back to Penguin Stage to get the heart piece that is in the stage. Having charged Sea Sting makes this much easier, and you need a Mammoth's weapon to actually get to the heart piece. So cause a lot of lag by missing a Sea Sting. So as you can see from before, stage goes by much quicker with the boots and Sea Sting. Charge Sea Sting gives you invulnerability. You can just run through basically everything. Grab the heart. Now we're on to Mammoth Stage. Another one of the more technically execution stages of the run. There's not a whole lot of RNG, at least costly RNG, in Mandrill. The mini-boss can cost you a little bit of time, but not much. Sorry, Zam, I messed up your hallway. So those ice shots and dash lemons, oh, really? That was really close, actually. That's the one thing we don't want Thunderslimer to do. Other than that, he's a really simple mini-boss in Hundo. But yeah, that hallway, NRG Zam came up with the strats there that I completely butchered. Involves a lot of weapon swaps and precise ice shots. So Mandrill, as far as the boss fight goes, if he decides to punch a lot, it's you might lose some time, but again, now that you have his weakness, you can freeze him for half of the fight. And then occasionally he thinks he's Mike Tyson. He always does that on the last hit. Doesn't always, but it seems like it. It's a pretty good pattern from him, though. Only 2 punches. That fight's a lot scarier in any percent when you don't have the armor or health, because he does a lot of damage without the armor. So, on to Dillo Stage. we'll be seeing this stage 5 times total. After the 8 Mavs are done, we will be revisiting it in order to get the Hado capsule. But we'll get back to that. So killing those bats at the beginning of the stage just cuts down on lag. Now we're going to use Sea Sting. Come down here and grab this sub-tank and try to get away from the lag monster before our Sea Sting runs out. Dashing is really hard in this game. It should be noted that that mole tank is actually a one-hit kill if you touch its the diggers, I guess, its arms. So you want to make sure you have enough Sea Sting to get through it. Nice smooth heart grab there. If you miss that one, don't worry, you have 4 more tries at it. So you notice I jumped high there. I want to actually, that spot there where the health capsule was, I have to see the spot next to the health capsule 5 times. On the 5th time I see it, and he's gonna roll. So Dillo can roll forever, which he just tried to. And there's not a whole lot you can do. But yeah, as I was saying, the capsule there, or the health capsule, on the 5th time you see that health capsule, just to the right of it, actually, if you have all of the hearts, all of the sub-tanks, and all of the armor upgrades, a capsule will appear, and you will get the Hadoken, which is a one-hit kill on everything except for Final Sigma. Makes the endgame of this a lot easier. Nice turtle skips there. You get right up next to them, you can dash jump over them. It's the one pattern, that's the one thing you don't want that to do. That gives you a lot of lag. Sick Mega Man 5 reference, though. Wow, double searchlight, that's really bad RNG, and very rare, actually. So I'm going to use Charge Tornado to kill that ship. Follow it down here to kill this Utuboros, who is guarding our last heart tank. Anybody playing through this game casually, just tornado everything. Tornado's like the most broken item in this game. And now, right here, we're going to kill another Utuboros. Right there underground. He always spawns right there, so you can just charge your tornado, shoot it between those two helix fossils, and move on with the rest of the stage. Octo coming up, another one of the terrible RNG bosses. And he just infinite comboed me. I knew that was going to happen. That's annoying. So, when he does his whirlpools like that, you can jump up and grab it. If you mash out of it, if you mash enough, you'll jump out of it. Zam actually just found out that recently why occasionally he'll just grab you and you'll just die. Like, he'll just continue to drain you until you die. It's actually an underflow. If your mashing is frame perfectly bad, which apparently mine was, of course now you give me no whirlpools. If you mash basically frame perfectly in the worst possible way, it will start an underflow on the timer, because when he grabs you, a timer ticks down for how long he's going to like drain your energy. But if you do it frame perfectly, the underflow, the value underflows, and it'll jump to like in like the millions or something like that. I don't remember. I need to check my lives. Okay, I need to farm one life. Luckily. Yo. 6 strats. That bat, which is a reference to the Mega Man 1 bats. So we're gonna grab that just in case, because this is a marathon. Sick Mega Man 5 reference, though, game. So as I said, that bat has a 50% 1-up drop rate. So if you don't have enough lives for the visits, which you need 3, you can just farm that bat and hopefully win the coin flip. I don't know why I was charging. So you'll also notice, I didn't mention this during the first visit through Dillo stage, I'm actually jumping on the cart to despawn birds. If you don't jump on the cart, there are a bunch of birds that will spawn and travel with the cart, and it makes the next jump incredibly laggy and really dangerous. So if you... Yep, there we go. I missed a jump, so I spawned a bird. So, as I said before, I have to see this one spot 5 times. That was visit 3, so there's one more after this. I have to see this spot 5 times, and the fastest way to see this spot is to just die right here before it. So we make sure we grab the extra life in Chameleon stage, and that gives us enough, provided we don't die, to do all of the visits we need without relying on luck as far as drops go. So if I did all of my visits correctly, this should spawn the Hadoken capsule. Yep. Shoutouts to Dr. Light in the Ryu outfit. Low 28, mid 28 auto time is not bad. Other than the death on to infinite combo, this hasn't been a very hasn't been a bad run. So now onto the Sigma stages. This is where the run really kind of get tricky. While we do have the one-hit kill move with the Hadoken, there's still a lot of stuff that can go wrong here. So those platforms have weird properties. If you land on them in the wrong spot, they'll just eat your dash and you won't be able to dash. I think I need to get another hit. Yo, sick Mega Man 5 references, game. So I got my health low because there's another Vile cutscene up here, and we just skipped one by not touching the ground there. And now the game's kind of in a glitch state. It's trying to play 2 cutscenes at the same time, but we're able to move around through this one. Okay, we're good. We didn't soft lock. It wasn't the best skip, but did still save time. we're doing it normally. You have to be careful though. If you do that incorrectly, it can just soft lock the game. Like Zero will just break out of the cage and just kind of sit there forever. So here's our first Hadoken of the run. It does 32 damage, I believe, on the first frame it contacts. So it's a one-hit kill for everything. The only thing it cannot damage is Velgarder Sigma, which is the final form of Sigma. Wow, that was a really sloppy movement. The only things it cannot damage are Velgarder Sigma and Vile from either cutscene. Like, Vile, while he's in his mech, is invulnerable to all damage. So now we start with the first of the refights, which with Hadoken, most of them aren't too tricky. There's a few of them that you'll see later on in the run that have some interesting setups to get the Hadokens off. And you'll also see a lot of charge C-Sting through these hallways in between transitions. So this is Bow Spider, one of the more annoying bosses, while not really the most difficult. It can be under pressure, like on good pace, it can be really tricky to read those patterns. Especially if she starts throwing babbies at you. But other than that, not too tricky in Hundo. In any percent, it's probably the longest fight, I believe. Just because you have to shotgun ice her down, and it takes forever for all of her patterns. So, onto the second Sigma stage. Hesitate just for a second there to wait for that platform cycle. Onto Penguin, refight. Again, another Hado. Should be noted that all of the Mavericks start off the fight the exact same way every time. Actually, they don't. Penguin does, which is relevant. There are a few of them that don't start off every time the exact same. But for the relevant ones, Penguin's always going to shoot that ice, and Eagle's always gonna try to blow you off the stage first. So, another Hadoken. There's not really a whole lot going on in part of these stages. Up next is Rangda. We're gonna hope for a blue eye and then a red eye, so that we can Hadoken both of them. But nope, we got a green eye, which you can only get one hit off of on a green eye. There we go. Ah, I fired too soon. So yeah, that was actually a really good pattern from Rangda. A little bit of a troll with the first green eye. But other than that... Oh, and I guess I didn't mention this. At the end of each stage, you might have noticed that I was trying to end in the center of the stage. At the end of each stage, X walks to the center. And that costs a little bit of time. So if you can, you always want to end as close to the center as you can, as possible. So right here, we're going to try to do a skip. Okay, so by not scrolling the screen high enough, we're able to skip the trigger that spawns Dillo, and skip that fight altogether. Now right here, I'm going to try to air Hado Chameleon, and I'll explain it after I get it, if I get it. Ah, I failed the buffer. Come down. Oops. So the idea there is you place the sled in the wall, put your QCF in, your quarter circle forward, which is how you shoot the Hadoken. And then while you're in the menu, yo, can I get the right weapon? While you're in the menu, you want to press and hold shoot until the screen fades to black, and then that will buffer the input so that X will shoot on the first frame after the pause, which the game will still have him registered as on the ice platform, even though the ice platform will disappear. So yeah, that was a little annoying. I'll go for the Air Hado on D-Rex, actually, I think, to try to show it off. It's a little bit slower than going for the Brick Lombardo Dukin. Shoutouts to Demolix. But it looks cool, so we'll go for it. So again, just using Charge C-Sting to run through everything. This is the last of the 8 Mavs refights. Mammoth decides to tell us he's an elephant again. Alright, so fair warning, I haven't actually practiced this Air Hado, so this might be interesting. Yo. Dude. So we might have to 90% him here. There we go. We lemon dukin. We've used both of our sub-tanks, but we got him.
Just tell me when time is up.
Time is going to be on the last hit on Final Sigma.
Okay.
So when I'm up on his claws, it's the one he'll have his claws roaming around the stage and shooting lightning. I'll let you know which one it is. So this is the final stage.
What do you estimate this time is going to be?
This should be a high 38, low 39.
Okay.
I don't think it can... Actually, I don't think we can 38 anymore. So, first up is his dog. Pretty easy. Now, for Jedi, again, just Hadoken him. So now, for this fight, we're going to want to get up on his claws as soon as we can, and the only thing that can damage him are rolling shields and full charge pink shots. Really, dude. That's really bad claw RNG. So this is the final boss. Okay. Really, video game? I didn't see my time. I hit split twice. Looked like a low 39.
Mine are at 39.28.
Okay. It was 20. Looked like a 23 on the replay. Because it's on the last hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. It's a low 38 or 39, so or mid 39. But yeah, that was Mega Man X. Happy with that run.
Yeah, it's a good run.
Yeah, only real problem was RNG. Like, there's nothing you can really do about Infinite Grab Octo.
Well, thanks for coming on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
SMB3 runs and this one.
Yep, I appreciate
It's
it.
all good. So, remember, if you want to see more streams like this, see more speedruns, go follow Losso42.
Yep.
And